Friday morning, and Israel is under attack. Here at Sheba, the largest and the most comprehensive medical center in Israel, we have a national wall to be ready.
אנחנו במלחמה. אנחנו מרוכזים עכשיו במעבר משגרה לחירום. הנחת העבודה שלנו שאנחנו מקום מאוים.
Massive Iranian attack. People have been rushed here during emergency from all over the region, and as always, getting the best treatment in the world.
My house was hit by a missile. There was a flash of lights and then everything went dark and we couldn't breathe. I took my 2-month-old baby, threw over one shoulder, and made way for my wife and my 2-year-old to get out of the destroyed shelter. And that's when we knew we had been saved.
Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Karen Berman, and I'm the new CEO of the American Friends of Sheba Medical Center. It's an honor for my Canadian partner, Einat, and CEO of Sheba Canada, and me to welcome so many of you and so many of our most dedicated friends and supporters to what will be an incredibly meaningful conversation. We will keep the program pretty tight, so we're trying to have this run about a half an hour today. We appreciate everyone who sent questions to us in advance, and the Q&A will be open. So if you have any more questions as we go, please put them into the Q&A and we'll try to get to them if there's time.
Thank you, Karen. As many of you know, Sheba Medical Center has been at the heart of Israel medical humanitarian response during this ongoing crisis. Under the most difficult conditions, Sheba continues to deliver world-class care, innovate at record speed, and protect the most vulnerable people of Israel. I'll just mention that beginning of May, Professor Kreis was here in Toronto and met so many of you, and then visited in the US, and we couldn't believe what will happen a few days after June. Professor Kreis' team is guiding Sheba through the most complex and demanding moments in the history. Professor Kreis, are you ready? Okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you, and we would love to get your overview.
Okay, thank you, and welcome to the Care Control Center of Sheba. From here, we conduct our efforts during the war. Just a minute, אני שומע עד, זה בסדר? אתם יכולים להוריד את זה? תנסו. Okay, so welcome. I'll try to share with you some of the challenges, what we do here, and how we cope with the last 12 days. This is a very sensitive or unique moment in the war because we count 2 wars, 620 something days from October 7th and the last 12 days, which is a different war. But this time, just 1 hour ago, we received the notification from the Yom Front Command that we can release the war effort and return gradually to routine. I'm not sure anymore what is routine in Israel, but it means that all the preparedness we've done for the Iranian war is now going to be back to the situation of the how do you call the operation in English? Rising Light, no, the October 7th,
Iron Swords.
the October 7th. We call it the October 7th War. So what are our roles during the war, during both wars? One, our first role, the most important one, is saving lives. We have to be prepared to save lives from any kind of conflict or war. As the largest hospital in Israel, we received the largest number of victims during the last 12 days. It was 332 victims from the שומעים אותי? Can you hear me?
Yes.
אני שומע עד, זה לא טוב. זה מפריע לי לדבר. אבל עכשיו לדעתי הם לא שומעים אותי. Can you hear me?
We hear you perfectly, Professor Christ.
Can you hear me? Yoel?
Yes.
Yes, we can all hear you here.
אוקיי, אוקיי, אני אוריד את זה. Can you hear me now? I'm without the earphones. Can they hear me? אתה מאזין להם? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you
Okay.
perfectly.
Okay. Our first role, it doesn't matter any kind of war, which kind of war. Our first role is saving lives. We received 332 victims from the Iranian war, mostly injured civilians that their houses were damaged by the Iranian missiles. We still have to be ready to accept soldiers that are injured in Gaza. Just this very moment, when I speak to you, there's a helicopter landing from Gaza because there was a big event there, and we receive more victims from there. So from any kind of conflict, this is our first role. We have another role. Our role, the second role, is to keep on providing the best medical care for the citizens of Israel. Because this is, we cannot lower the standards of care for such a long time. If we do that, we will lose. So this is a challenging task. And as I said, as the biggest hospital in Israel and the most comprehensive one, we have to keep the continuity of care. And we've done it. And the challenge in these 12 days was even bigger because we had to do that under a threat, under a situation that we had to take care of protecting the staff and the patients if we want to provide care. So we took almost 2,000 bed facility and moved it underground. And I'll show you and I'll share with you what does it mean to take almost 1,500 out of the 2,000 and to take care of them underground and still to provide them the best medical care we can, compassionate care for the families, to adjust it for children, to adjust it for women in labor, to oncology, hospice care, every kind of care, because we insisted that along our task to save lives, we will provide continuity of care in any condition. In a certain aspect, this is the essence of our resilience, not as a hospital, but as a nation. And let me take you to see, as much as I can, what does it mean to operate a hospital in such conditions. So if you can show them, first, the underground shelters of the labor, the women in labor, the labor system. we will try to show you in the care control center, make it bigger, make it bigger. תגדילו את התמונה, תנו לי תמונה אחת. Okay. What you can see now, Tatsu, what you can see now, this is a working surgery unit underground in shelters. You can take the impression of the people working very quietly, calmly, protected, and they do the same procedures as we do in the original wards. I'll take you to a special look at the special labor center that we've built. תראו להם את חדרי הלידה. We had to provide women in labor a protected area to have the labor, because if you get 10 minutes of alert, you cannot take a woman in labor and move there to a sheltered space. So in 24 hours, maybe 36 hours, we build 10 delivery rooms, protected shelter underground that could provide the women everything they need. Also, we built 2 cesarean section rooms in order to provide continuity of care if we need it. You can see that, איפה, תראו להם, לא, זה לא זה, תהיו איתי. תראו להם את חדרי לידה. הם רואים? So I'll try to show you, but I understand now that you don't see it well. But we wanted for you to take the impression how we did it. We also opened different areas of protected areas. When we understood we don't have enough because we had only about 700 or 1,000 places underground, and we needed more because of the threat. We came up with a new concept. We took our mobile field hospital and we deployed it in a parking lot, underground parking lot. And the integration between a mobile field hospital that is adjusted to treat patients with anything we need, to an underground protected area, a parking lot in this case, this integration allowed us to move underground hundreds of patients more.
Professor
And
Kreis,
surprisingly, they even felt comfortable. They felt the privacy there, and especially protected, and the continuity of care was kept. Now, this was our biggest challenge, to move everything above ground to underground. And we worked that way for 12 days. And it's working. And that allows the state of Israel the resilience it needs to keep on with the operation. We have to take care of the staff. We have to put a lot of effort in holding the staff, allowing them to rest, allowing them to work in these conditions. And we also do that. Unfortunately, we are experiencing that. So that was a challenge, but we can cope.
Professor Kreis.
We are moving now slowly, very slowly, to go back above ground. But this is the kind of feeling I wanted you to get from our first and second row, saving lives, and keep on with the providing the best care we can for the citizens of Israel. We have another row. We have a national row. Because Sheba is not a hub only for medicine. Sheba is a hub for the stability and a sense of reassurance for the society in Israel. when they see us working, when the country see us providing every day what we need, there's a sense of strength. And we extend our hand to anyone in need in Israel. We help the periphery. We help the south. We went to, when Soroka was hit, we sent teams there. When there's a need in the community, we send our teams also there. We felt that a lot of Israelis were stuck abroad. They couldn't even have a prescription for drugs that they needed. So Sheba built a center that could extend a hand to any Israeli on the globe. And in that sense, I want to thank you for that, because we did it through a lot of the friends that belong to the Canadian and American Friends of Sheba. We very quickly, we published an appeal asking for physicians that can assist us in providing prescriptions to any Israeli that was stuck abroad. And in 12 hours, we accepted 300 volunteers. Amazing. So that is another role that we have, to be there for the Israel, the state of Israel, for any need. Again, okay, I can.
Thank you, Professor Kreis. And as many of the people know, that you're not only one of Israel's foremost medical leaders, but you've also served as Surgeon General of the IDF. So clearly your wartime experience really paid off. I think most people were really shocked to learn that we were continuing to provide regular medical care 24/7, which is really amazing. I was wondering if you could highlight maybe a few more things from your experience about, what it's really like to operate a hospital during wartime and things we might not understand, and how you'll be able to translate those lessons for the future for Israel's medical care.
Thank you. The way we work in emergency or in such an operation or in a scenario that you are not safe in the hospital that you operate is not something that people or professionals, healthcare professionals around the world can understand. The first thing you have to do is to work according to procedures, according to, I would call it only for the sake of the argument, a military organized way. It means that there's an order and there's a strict schedule, and everybody has to know where he's stationed and how everybody works and what is the levels of protection and what do you do when there's an alert. You have patients to take care of. You have to train, to take drills. Imagine that a physician and a nurse and healthcare professionals that work in the ward, they are not trained to move their patients and take care of themselves whenever there's an alert or missiles coming. So a lot of discipline is needed. And in that regard, it's not only my experience. It's something in the Israeli mentality, not only of the staff, but also of the patients and the families. They understand what alert means. They understand what preparedness means. They understand what you do in emergency. So if you could see the time when there is alert, the sirens work, and there are only 10 minutes, complete work of 40 patients, very disciplined, very slowly, very organized, very calmly, how they take care of each other, the staff and the families. That's something that is built in years, in training, in teaching, in mentality, in resilience of individual resilience, the ward resilience, the resilience at the institutional level, and allow me to say it's also in Israeli quality. Just to share with you, a lot of countries in Europe, Germany, Sweden, Norway, Finland, the Lithuanian countries are now approaching us and trying to learn how to operate hospitals under missile attack. You can imagine what is their threat. What is the threat they are trying to prepare for? But we are sharing with them, and it takes time to explain, train, teach, educate healthcare systems how to work under emergency. Maybe it's rooted in our military backgrounds, and maybe it's rooted in our experience as a nation. But it doesn't matter how it works. And I was amazed, once again, amazed to see 11,000 employees, 11,000, with families of 2,000 patients and 20,000 patients that come here every day to see the way they operated. That's something that gives me a lot of trust and in a way, hope that we will endure, we will overcome. And we see it now. And that not only will allow us to cope with the challenges of the war, this is what will make Israel stronger and Israel prosper in the future.
Thank you, Professor Kreis. This is Einat, and there are two areas that we would like to hear, and I'm voicing the people here in Canada and US for this conversation. Two elements that we hear that you need a lot of help and support. One, around the medical help, the Sheba Beyond, the platform that you are using and how we can help you from here. And the second will be the immediate need that you identify, how we can help Sheba for the short term and also for the long term, keeping in mind that we are in a wartime since October 7th. Almost close to 2 years now.
Thank you for asking. I would say this is two levels of support. One, or I said 3 levels of support. The first and most important level of support is that you stand with us, is that you care for us, is that you pick up the phone. It's amazing. In the first minutes of the war, every day, and you ask us, what do we need? How are we doing? We are a very strong institution, and we're a very strong country. But then knowing that you stand with us, and you care, and you are with us, that's the most important support. The second thing is that we are building a global network. Sheba is a hospital with global aspirations. As you know, we don't have the time now to speak about our global aspiration with ARC and innovation and with humanitarian assistance, but we have global network and global aspirations. And in that regard, what we've seen with your volunteering to assist us in anything we need on the globe should continue. And now what we are trying to do is to capture this support and build it as a structural global network. We will do that. We will approach you. We will make sure that this connection and bond keeps stronger. And the last level of support is what you all do for 76 years, is to assist us with building our preparedness. This is what we are focused now. We have to invest a lot of resources in building our preparedness, in building our medical continuity of care, in augmenting our capacity to be more prepared and to allow us to provide the best care we can after the war, after the Iranian war, but we are still in a war. As I told you, I cannot share that with you now, but this is a very big event in Gaza now. And It takes a lot of resources from us. So this is the, I would say, another level of support that you can share with us. I know how you work, and I'm sure you will.
Professor Kreis, thank you. This is Karen, and we also appreciate your time and your staff's time right now to speak to all of us who care so much about Sheba when things are literally changing by the minute for you. I was wondering if before we let you go back to your other work, if there's any last minute message or takeaways that you wanted to share with everybody here, just in terms of what you've seen and unfortunately what you know is coming.
I want to end first. I want to thank you all. As I said, the fact that you are with us makes us stronger. I felt it minutes after October 7th. Minutes. There's a lot of talking in the last 30, 40 years about what would happen with the connection and the bond between North American Jewry, Canada and United States, and Israeli Jews. And we were concerned about the younger generation. We were concerned about what happens with your generation. Minutes after October 7th, we felt that the bond is stronger than ever. We've seen you here. The youngsters come here. You are coming here. This is something that no other country in the world has the support of one people, the peoplehood. So that's one thing I wanted to end with. And the second thing is, unlike October 7th war, which we felt that this is a Jewish war, because you paid the price as well, and with anti-Semitism, when you stood with us, we felt that this is a Jewish war. We are all one people. But the Iranian war, the last 12 days are different, because this war is a war of two nations, Israel and the United States. And for us, is to something we want to prove to the world. We are not here, as we know for many years, 3,000 years, the Jewish people in Israel are not here only to make sure that we exist. We have a role in the world, and our role is to do good. And this war is when the US joined the war, we felt that there's a future and there's a hope for a better world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's really moving for all of us, and we really so appreciate your time and taking the time to speak to us. And I just wanted to thank everyone else here for being here today and really being a part of this incredible community that I'm actually quite new to. What you just saw was just a glimpse into everything that's been going on, from our around-the-clock care to Sheba Beyond to treating, individuals and injured soldiers, and none of this really happens without the support of this community. So Professor Kreis mentioned our Operation Rising Lion. We would love for you to support us. We actually are throwing up a quick QR code for both the Canadian and the US offices. You can always visit one of our websites or reach out to any of us individually. We will continue to keep us posted on progress. And we really just thank you all for joining, wishing everyone some strength and hope and courage. And Am Yisrael Chai. Hope to see you in Israel.
Am Yisrael Chai.
Thank
Am
you.
Yisrael Chai.
Thank you so much.